Hi guys, this is just going to be a quick video about a nice way to create a model and popovers to improve the user experience. To achieve these, we use no JavaScript at all, just plain CSS and HTML because we have access to a new API. It's the Popover API. I'll leave a link in the description. And if you follow along, we will build this thing. So we have just a background image and this button. Click on the button and we have this nice effect. This model appears in the middle of the screen. This popovers appears, and we can have text inside or buttons inside. And one of these button actually closes this model, and the other one opens another confirmation model. So we can click close and it's going to be closed. And then we click delete again and then can click on yes. And there is another confirmation step. So if you want to nest Popover inside the other to create menus or multi-modals or multi-steps experiences, you can use this. And all these has been done without a single line of JavaScript. So if you stick with me until the end, we will be just this. Let's go. All right, so we have like an empty folder, open a folder in your desktop on documents folder, wherever you want, and add an index.html file. Next, let's just make this bigger and close the other one. All right, so we have a simple HTML page. We have pop over demo. And then in here, we have a button. We have just simple button like open, or as I showed you before, let's build the same thing, delete. Okay, delete. So we have now, we need an element. We need an element. I use a div, but actually, based on the documentation, if you want to create a model, it's better if you use, instead of a div, you need to use the dialog tag, which is not closing. All right. So if you can, you use this one. If you want to use like this Popover's API for popovers and not for models, you can use any other tag that you want. So now we use the popover. We use this popover attribute, which is a new attribute, and then we can add an ID here. Let's say just confirm. So this is a confirmation model. This is going to be this button is going to be clickable. So we simply write here popover target. So we have in this new API, we have just plain HTML. We have the popover attribute. We have the popover target attribute, and then there is popover target action. So three new attributes that we can use with this API. And this is going to be working just to trigger this dialog, and it's going to open and close itself. So we have the target, and then we need to reference this here. So we say confirm. All right, so this is linked. So we link this button with this dialog element, and then we can write whatever we want inside. Let's add a p tag, and then here, please confirm your action. All right. So if we open this up, and where it is show preview, and click, and you see we have this nice model onto the page. But we can do a bit more. We can do a bit more. Based on the documentation to create a model, it's recommended this dialog element, but if we want, we can use also different elements to create different experiences. And to close the popover, as you see, I can click outside. I can click outside of the element and the popover closes again. Or I can have another element. I said there are three new attributes that we can use, and the new attribute is called popover action. So if we place a button here and we add this popover action and we say close, there are three values that you can use. It's close, it's show, and the other one is let's see the documentation because I forgot the other one is toggle. Yeah, the other one is toggle. Right. So we set this to close, so the popover is gonna close, but we need to reference the actual ID here. So as we have done for this one, we do the same for the one inside the dialog element. So we can click delete and let me add some text, otherwise you cannot see anything. All right, click on delete. We have this X and we can close this model without even a single line of JavaScript. So now let's make this a bit better and look nicer. I have an image somewhere. Let me just grab a link of an image. Yeah, got it. So if we add to the body of the page a background image, and when we click on this button, we want the same effect that we had on this side, on the other example. So click near, and then you see the image, it's blurring on the background. So we want to achieve the same thing, and for that, this Popover's API introduces a couple of new pseudo selectors for CSS that we can use, and one is the backdrop element. So let's try this. Let's open a file. Let's call it this style.css, and then let's add some style to the body. Let's do a background ground image URL, and then we place the URL onto this. Let me add. Okay. All right. So now that we have, let me link the CSS before, otherwise we won't see anything. Let's link CSS. Okay. Now that we have this background image, you see that the image is not blurring when I click on this button and the model appears. But we want this to be blur. So we keep the user attention on this confirmation element instead of the background and other elements on the page. So how we do that? We just go here and we use the backdrop element. So this pseudo selector will just blur we just grab everything that is behind our element, so behind our dialog, and blur everything when we use the backdrop filter um, attribute. So backdrop filter, and then we say like blur, and we do like 10 pixels. So now, when you click on the button, you see that the background it's blurring, so it's not in high definition anymore, and your attention is on this element. So we can do much more. We can, as you see in the previous example on this other page, we can have multiple elements nested one inside the other. And to do that, we can just build another um, popover element inside this dialog window. Let's do that. So let me just grab the HTML. So now let's add another button. So we have the one for closing the backdrop at the popover, and then we want another one. We want the button to confirm. So we confirm more than once. So the user is going to be very well informed about what we are doing. So we add another dialog element. We can have this dialog element, of course, outside the first one. Let me just copy this one and place it down here. We change the ID, reconfirm, or wherever you want, doesn't matter. And then please confirm your action again. And then we have the confirm button that we can use it to perform different operations. Maybe this time using JavaScript, we can perform an HTTP request to a server and then have some sort of actions behind the scenes running, or just leave it as it is. And then we have the other button for closing, but this time the popover tag is going to be this one. Yeah, reconfirm. And the button inside the first dialog is gonna need this target as well, but its target it should be the reconfirm element. So this button here uses a different target from the closing button. So let's try again and see if we can figure another model on top of this one. Let's add an emoji and let's delete. Can confirm again, and you see another window appears on top of this one. We have a different model, then we can close. We can close the first one, and then we see the other one, the previous one. And then we can close it again, or delete, confirm, close, close again. And then now we can just style these elements with some CSS and make the button a bit nicer. Let's say we have a button and we simply style this button with some padding on top and bottom, 1 RAM, and then left and right, 1.5 RAM. So it's nice button, background. Let's make it black, and the text is gonna be color of the text is gonna be white, quite small. Yeah, fine. Let's use border 1 pixel solid, and the color should be the same of the text. And next we should use some border radius. Border radius 1 RAM. All right, maybe a bit less, 0.5. Yes, fine. We're making all buttons style like this one. And then we can style our dialog. So our dialog has both dialogs are actually different. One has the idea of confirm, the other one has the idea of reconfirm. So let's start the confirmation one. We do like hash confirm, and then we say border radius 1 RAM. Then we add some padding, 1 RAM again. And let's see. Now it looks a bit better, and you can style this as you want. That's it for this video. If you like the video, like the video. If you have anything to ask, just leave a comment. See you in the next one, guys. Cheers.